Hello, people. Welcome to another edition of One on One with Michael. Okay, I'm going to tell you that I cannot express to you how excited I am about this interview for several reasons. One, this person that I'm about to interview is an author, a singer, an artist, an actor, and for the first time in my life, I'm connected to someone that is reminiscent of myself, a person that is a jack of all trades, has a little bit of knowledge here and there, dabbles here and there, and does all types of things beyond being an artist. This
Yes.
person is also an entrepreneur in his own right. Needless to say, author, poet, um, spiritual teacher, minister. There's just so many things to say about this individual, but I just want to first say we're going to be discussing the art of love. And I know this looks kind of backwards on your screen, but this is our author. This is our project that we're going to be talking about today, The Art of Love. It is a collection of poetry written by our interviewee today. So we're going to dive right into this interview. And Bruce, just greet our audience and say hello for me.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited, humbled, and grateful to be here. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's ready.
Awesome. Now, your book, The Art
hmm
of Love, when did you publish this book?
This was, my God, it's almost a year now. I would say everything was finalized on February 26th of last year,
So in 3 days.
2014.
Yes, yes.
February 26th, 2014.
Okay. For those of you that are not aware, his book is available via Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Powell Books, anywhere online where books are sold, you can find this book. And I strongly suggest that you go and obtain your copy today.
Yes.
And don't even wait to order it online. I would strongly suggest just going into your local bookstore and requesting the book in the store and asking for it. You can do so by the ISBN number that is located conveniently in the book, and it is also listed on Amazon as well. So if you find his book on Amazon, write down the ISBN number when you go into your local store, have his name, the title, and the ISBN number, and request it into your local bookstore. All right?
All right.
So, the
Hallelujah.
art of love. The art of love.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name for your book?
How did I come up with the name for my book? After learning that love was an art and not a sport. And I'll tell you about that. For a long time, I was very misguided around love, and I thought that love was something that you had to, okay, I have to give something, and you have to give something, and we have to put something together. We're coming together, and whoever comes out on top, okay, it was just a big, like a match to me, like a sport, or some kind of activity. And I had to really come into the understanding that no, love is not a match. No, love is not a fight. It's not a sport. Love is an art. And that had to come from not only loving, but getting my heart broken and realizing that when you look at art, it's abstract. Somebody will say it's beautiful. Somebody will say, oh, I don't like this picture. I like that one. We have so many different forms of art and so many different forms of people's appreciation of art. That's what love is. There's so many different kinds of love. There's so many different appreciations of love and so many different opinions of people in love. And so I had to learn that love was not just this cookie cutout. It's this or it's that. It's not or it is. It's an art form. It's vast. It's expansive. And it's not defined by just one set activity.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm hearing a little feedback, but I pray you can hear me well.
I can hear you. Yeah, there's nothing over here. I don't know if I have anything causing it.
Okay. Well, aside from how you obtained the name for your book, where did the inspiration come from? Because when you read the poems that are written in this book, it it is when I first posted my review and
Mm-hmm.
shared with the world that the book was out and that it
Mm-hmm.
was available.
Mm-hmm.
My expression was it was as reading a glass or reading the book was as the experience of having a fine glass of wine. Reading,
Mm. Thank you.
and so I was sitting there going through every poem, experiencing nearly every emotion that was there as it was being expressed,
Mm-hmm.
and that was real for me because from one poet to another, um, reading poetry for me, I look to be entertained. I look to
Mm-hmm.
be wowed. I look
Mm-hmm.
to have my eyebrows shaved off because I want to read something that's like, oh my God. Something that makes
You
the
can
hair
just raise them.
on the
You have
back.
to shave them off,
Yeah, yeah, they need to be gone.
burn them off, singe
I
'em.
look for the hairs on the back of my neck to stand,
Right.
and
Yep.
I experienced all of that and then some
Right.
reading this book because it's like so transparent, so vulnerable, so real, so personal. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I gathered from reading the book. There was things shared about you that in common knowledge, most people that don't really know Bruce may not have known these things.
Yeah.
So, uh, what did it take for you to have the goal, the strength, and the boldness to just be so transparent and share so much information about yourself with a worldwide audience?
My. Well, really,
Uh-oh, the glasses came off.
well, really, a lot of people they want to talk about how fear plays a role in their lives and how it negatively affects us and it holds us back. I feel that everything in life has its purpose and its due time. And to be quite honest with you, I was very sick last year. The book came out in February, and from January to March, I was very, very ill. And one of the things the doctors thought that I had, I don't have it. It was very, very serious. And I had to have surgery, and a lot was going on, and I was sick, and I was afraid. I was afraid that I would leave this world and I would not have done anything that I really, really, really wanted to do. And writing has been something for me that has always kept me and always been so important to me. I've been writing, oh Lord, as far back as I can remember, I've been writing poetry. And the truth is, I was afraid. I was afraid. I did not want to leave here without putting something into the earth. I was like, oh my God, they said I have this, they said I have that, I have to have surgery, this is happening, this is happening. Thanks be unto God that I'm in my good health now, and
Yeah,
everything that they thought I had was
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
But fear, and a lot of people ain't gonna like me for this, fear played a role in pushing me to inspiration. A lot
Mhm.
of times we want to defeat fear and defeat purposes. It's not about being afraid. It's about being afraid and crumbling under the fear. That's the problem. Because there are always going to be points in our lives when we're going to be afraid. I was afraid, and instead of crumbling from being afraid, I pushed myself forward. There are
Mhm.
times when, yes, you need to cast fear out and rebuke it, get rid of it, but there are other times that you need to transform it because we have power. And what I did was transform that nervous, anxious energy into something that says, you know what, I'm going to do this. I
Say
have to.
so.
I have to go forward because I can't leave here without doing something I wanted to do in my life. And that entire experience not only pushed for this book and and other writings that I'm working on now, but pushed for a lot of the major successes I had last year. And so I had all of those feelings. I had all of those poems in my head. I had them on paper. I had them in my heart. I just never put it all together. I never wrote anything new and said, this is what I'm going to do with it. And it took that experience from me thinking that I might lose my life to say, no, I have to do something with my life. And that's how the inspiration to go forward with this project came.
That's powerful. I can relate to everything that you're saying because I went through a similar experience, and that experience helped me to launch as an author. It also helped me to launch my poetry book. It helped me to write my life coaching book I did. In essence, it helped me to launch my publishing company, which would have never happened if the motivation of all of that did not come through. So I can relate to having that moment with fear. And truth be told, for me, and you might share a similarity in this, fear brought about a conviction of what am I doing with my life's purpose.
Come on now. I came for an interview. We came to have church.
So for me, it was not a moment of, oh my God, what am I going to do? And oh my God, I'm not doing enough. And oh my God, I'm failing in every area of my life. And oh my God, things are not looking like I need them to look or want them to be. I'm not in my ideal space or life, etc. Truth be told, if we honestly admit and tell the truth, I don't care how successful or non-successful you are, you will never really reach that place of doing and being everything you desire to do and be, because life evolves. When you reach one place, you're ready for the next place, preparing for the next place, trying to transcend to that next place. So until you take your last breath, you have not arrived, honestly. So what fear did for me in that moment was teach me a couple of things and make me say to myself that, okay, I have a destiny, I have a calling, I have gifts, I have purpose, and there's a place that I need to get my life to with my productivity. So it became a thing for me of I need to be productive now. I need to work on things that are going to get me to my end result, and no matter what it is that I'm seeing, because the problem becomes when you're a writer and an author and a poet and all of these wonderful different things, it becomes I don't have enough money to publish. It becomes I don't have enough of this or that. I don't have money for the graphic designer. How am I going to get exposure for my work? I don't know enough people in media, et cetera, et cetera. And then all those excuses become the brick wall as to why you never come through, why you never follow through on your opportunities, et cetera. So just to bring it back full circle, the fear for me was not the fear that, oh my God, I'm not successful, I'm not doing enough, I'm not happy with my life, I'm not getting any results. The fear for me was to convict me to say, you're bigger than what you know. You will achieve more than what you currently realize. And the fear for me was, are you really ready to answer the call to this? Or are you going to just sit back and continue to daydream and think about what your life could be and what you could accomplish at some point, but you have never done it?
Right.
So the question I want to ask you in this moment is, what gave you that next push that sent you over the edge, that said to you, okay, I'm not just going to sit here and write, but it's time for me to publish? What was your next big push?
He knows the answer to this question. You.
Well, the world wants to know.
You.
The world wants to know.
You. It was you. It was you. Well, it's very important to have people who support you. It's very important to have people who support you. It's very important to have people who support you. It's very important to have people who support you. And you were one of the people who were constantly in my ear. Well, when are you gonna well, when are you going to, and have you wrote, and when are you, you know, it's good to have people, in your ear, and it's like, okay, okay, yeah, I hear you. I know I have a gift. Yes, 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 I know. But sometimes we need that pestering. Not to say you were a pest, but we need someone to go into our ear and keep reminding us, don't you know you're best? Because, you hear one thing, whatever they're saying is whatever they're saying. But when you listen to the spirit behind it, what you're hearing is, you know you can do it. I know you can do it. You know you have the skill. You know you have the talent. You know you have the ability. You know you really should be living this as your purpose. You know you ought to push for it. And you hear these things on a spiritual level. They might be saying, child, when are you going to write a book? But all of those things are encompassed in that statement. And so to have people like you to constantly tell a person, I know you can do it, you should really do it. And you know in your heart most of the time that these are things that you want to do, but it's a blockade that is set up sometimes with people, with our self-esteem, with our ideas about self-worth. Oh, I don't think anybody will listen, or I don't think anybody will like it. Oh, it's too personal. Oh, it's too close to me. It's another form of fear. That's the separation. There's the fear that pushes you towards conviction, and there's the fear that holds you back. These things are constantly pulling at each other, pulling at each other. And so when you have the fear that is conviction, which was me getting ill and saying, you know what, I have to do something because I don't know what's going to happen, that was pushing me forward. And then there was the fear of, oh, well, I don't really think I want to share. I don't think anyone will listen. That's the fear that was holding me back. This is pushing me forward. This is holding me back. They're fighting. And so the one thing that helps this get out of the way is people in your ear. So every time someone says, oh, I know you can do it. Oh, you know you can do it. Oh, we know you can do it. We both know you can do it. That pushes that out of the picture. And that moves that out of the way. And so, of course, there was you. My mother, who was telling me things like that for years, my family, my grandmother who passed away, and certain friends who, were always supportive of me, and my church family and things like that. So it was a lot of support. And once you have a lot of support and you have the support of yourself, because that's the most important one, if you don't support you, it don't matter if anybody else is supporting you. Because if you don't do it for you, you ain't going to do it for nobody else. And if you do it for somebody else, well, you won't be happy. So I really want to thank everyone, including you, for your support, because you had the company. It wouldn't be possible without you. So it's good to have friends in high places. Turn to your neighbor and say, high places. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I'm glad for your support. I'm behaving. I'm glad for your support. I'm glad to have to have friends and family who support you. And even if no one else is supporting you, because some people don't have that, you have to support yourself. You have to push yourself out there. And so I had to say to myself, one day I was laying in the bed and sick, and I can't just lay here. I can't just sit here and be afraid. I can't just lay down here and let the time pass me. I mean, I'm getting older now. I'm getting older now.
Like that old.
I'm not that old, but I was only 17 yesterday. Anyway. I mean, I had to tell myself. I had to tell myself. Definitely had to tell myself.
I just had a call coming in through Google. I think that is so rude.
They see you on the line.
Well, Google needs to add a feature to disable your phone while you're on a video chat.
Probably. Let's keep going.
Yeah, but let's take the art of love further. Now,
oh my.
Yeah, you have throughout this book, different phases.
Yes.
Of the art of love, and I want for those that are listening, because we're global right now. This this interview is available all over the world, so we never know who's listening
Yes.
and watching. I want
Yes.
you to explain.
Japanese.
I want you to explain to our listeners and viewers what are the phases throughout the art of love, and how did you come up with that concept?
The phases of the art of love. Some would call them chapters. Chapter one, chapter two, whatever the title of that chapter is. But I realized that in life and in love and in romance, they're more so phases than they are chapters. Because, for example, when chapter one is over and you go into chapter two, that's it. Chapter one is over. You can't go into chapter two, then go into chapter three, chapter four, and then you go back to chapter one. That's just not how it works. But phases are more fluid. Phases happen in stages. Phases sometimes repeat themselves. They
Mm,
show up at different times in life and in different forms and in different situations, but it's still basically a repetition of a phase. And so that's where I got phases instead of chapters. And so you would have the unity phase would be the first, and that's about the love, that's about the communion, that's about the joy. And then you would have the distance phase, and that's about disconnects, being in love with someone at a distance, in the easier sense of it, but just not only a physical distance, but an emotional distance, a spiritual distance. There's so many ways to be distanced, and we can be distanced from each other and sit in the same room and totally miles away from each other on a spiritual wavelength. So that's where that came from. And then there's the makeup and the breakup. Now, I know there are human people watching, so I know I don't have to explain making up and breaking up to human people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so those are all phases, because not all of us are blessed to meet one person and stay with one person for the rest of some of us are. Some of us are. God bless you. God bless you. 72 years. God bless you. But not all of us. So making up and breaking up is a phase that is repeated in most of the lives of humanity. And so that's how all of those things tie together.
awesome, awesome. We have selected here. I thought I had it in my book, but I actually have it on my little pad. Now, here comes a part that I'm going to get a lot of joy out of, is
Mm.
to actually hear you share
Yes.
some of your poetry. Now,
Yes.
I've experienced it, I've read it, I've all of that, but for those that are watching and listening, this is going to be a treat, an added treat. We're going to share three poems from three different phases of his book, and the first one is called Whispers in the Morning.
Yes.
So I'm going to allow you to proceed to give them what they need. Let me stop.
Wow. Don't make me laugh, please. All right. This is the Whispers in the Morning. It's the first poem in the unity phase. First poem in the book, I should say. All right. You came out of nowhere, a reminder of my dreams, a blessing from the angels, a life of love decreed. I have been liberated. Your love has set me free. It has made a way ages ago for the Lord to bless me. The whispers in the morning is what you have given me. The whispers in the morning is you saying you love me. The whispers in the morning is what I need. Your voice lingering on the bed sheets, speaking softly in love, telling me how treasured I am, how valued I am. And I want nothing more than to whisper in return the same affirmation and the same praises. To tell you how incredible you are, how much I want these whispers this morning to never end. I could lay here with you for eternity, and we would dream our dreams and speak only of love. Oh, how I am inspired by your determination to love and be loved, to be joyous and give joy, to touch and be touched. For the sweet love we make in every passing moment, I am grateful. Grateful for all these moments. Grateful for all these whispers in the morning. Yeah, he's snapping. He's snapping.
That was completely awesome. What brought about the whispers in the morning?
The whispers in the morning. That was a couple of years ago. Well, when we get into new relationships, what do they call it? The honeymoon phase.
Uh
You
huh.
you just meet somebody new and you feeling them, they're feeling you, you like it, they like it. I was just smitten. That's all it was. I was just smitten. Met somebody new. I was feeling good. I was feeling nice. And for me, I'm very emotional. I'm very emotional. I'm very deeply emotional. So when I feel things, I feel them intensely. Intensely. Makes for good poetry. May move things along a little too quickly in a relationship, but makes for good poetry. Yeah, I was in a new relationship, and it was someone that I was really, really interested in, and I really cared about the person, and I was feeling good. And that's where this came from.
Awesome. Okay, the next poem, second poem from a different phase, is
Yes,
called Heartbeat Again.
yes. Heartbeat again. Whew. Heartbeat again is the second poem in the distance phase. Now remember, y'all, the distance phase is a little different. When I see you, my heart beats again. When I need you, my heart beats again. And when I'm with you, my heart beats again. Surely I need you to survive. Help my heart beat again. Make my heart beat again. It's cold. I need you next to me. I'm growing old now. No playtime left for me. I need you there to show that you care. I need you tenderly. My heart, it cannot live without your love. I'm here now, waiting for your love. Draw near now. We'll share an endless love. I need you there to show you care. This time away from you prolongs a pointless suffering. When we both know we'll be better together. So make up your mind and pack up your things and move right back into my life. I'm waiting for my resuscitation. I need my heart to beat again. You, you hold the key to my vitality. Make my heart beat again. Help my heart beat again.
My God.
My God.
Another good one.
Yeah.
Tell us about this phase.
Oh man. Uh this helped my heart beat again. I remember I was talking about the distance phase being more than just the physical distance, more than just being with the person and the person's miles and miles away. And it's sometimes it's you're in the room with the person, you're always interacting with the person, and your emotional and spiritual distance is so great that they just can't even see what you see or see what you're feeling. And so
Wow.
with help my heart beat again, I was involved with a person, and it didn't entirely work out. And but the person never vanished out of my life. The person was always there. And so when I would see this person, I was always reminded. I was always reminded of what I felt and how I wanted things to be different. And the person was like, they were completely and totally oblivious to how I was feeling and what I was feeling and what I wanted and what I was thinking. And so that being in the room and you're miles away emotionally, that was very real for me. And that was very, very painful to have to experience. And so that's where Help My Heart Beat again. That's where it got its fuel from. Let me say that. That's where it got its fuel from, just sitting and constantly interacting with a person who was literally blind to what I was and what I was feeling. The person really just couldn't, ooh, excuse me, the person really just couldn't see me. And that's deep. The person really just couldn't see me. They see me every day, talk to me every day, involved with me every day, and they could not see me.
Mm.
And so that's where Help My Heart Beat Again came from. That's where it got its fuel. That's where it got the engine. That's where it got the transmission fluid. That's where it got the brake fluid. That's where it got the windshield wiper fluid. That's where it got the rear view mirror. The whole thing was built out of that. The whole thing. I'm trying my hand at being a comedian, y'all. How am I doing?
Pretty good in this interview. Your statement in itself is very powerful. The fact that you can be with someone or have someone around or have interaction or relationship with people, and even outside of a relationship, those things still exist. Having people there around, related to family, people you live with, people you go to work with, people you commune with, you go to church with, etc. Having those relationships present in your life, but those individuals not really knowing how to truly connect with you and know what you're truly about, what you represent. They're out of touch. And there's so many people. There's so many people out of touch with individuals, and that's what makes this particular poem so very powerful, and it stood out to me. Love, every poem, first of all, that I've requested or shared thus far is one of my favorite pieces. This last one.
Oh, yeah.
So this last one is part of a different phase that we're about to get into.
Yes.
Which says, we cannot forget.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to have to take my glasses on.
It's about to get serious and more serious, y'all.
Serious. About to get real serious, right? Yes, we cannot forget. It is from the last phase in the book. The last phase in the art of love is the makeup phase. The makeup phase. Now, we all know about making up. We all know about anger. Those of us who've been in relationships, those of us who've been in relationships that weren't necessarily, what's the word I want to use? That weren't necessarily easygoing, because there have been some volatile relationships, and I'm not talking about violence, and I'm not talking about abuse, but I'm talking about just energy, because we all go into relationships carrying things. And sometimes those things get in the way of the relationship, and we have to come back at a later time because we have to heal. And so the makeup phase is saying, okay, I'm healing, let's fix it, come on, we're done, we're good, we're great, now let's go back to where we were. Because we were good together. I had a lot of those in here. So we cannot forget is one of those. Whew. They tell us both to move on, to let the other go. But really, how can we leave? How can we stop connecting? How can we stop loving? With this passion that burns through the night and is the envy of the sun, how can we simply move on? No, we can't forget. When the lovemaking brings us to tears, we can't forget. Even after all these years, we can't forget, though it's sometimes sealed in pain, we cannot forget. So touch me. Would it be easier to lay there alone? Would it suit you more to never kiss these lips again? These lips that have been declared your own time and time again. This body that is the land of your permanent adventure. Love me. Don't leave me here alone in this place. What do I have to offer the world other than to be your perfect lover? Do you not remember the nights of endless fire? Do you not recall the sheets drowning in our love? I see the flames in your soul, and I know you remember. No, we can't forget the yearnings and desire. We can't forget the bedroom set afire. We can't forget a timeless love. We cannot forget. Remove this absence. Restore our union. Feel me. Want my everything. I'm so willing to give. Forsake me not, for the past is a marker for us to learn. And although we must let go to move forward, though we must forget those former things, though that chapter is complete now, there is one thing that is for certain. No matter how much they try to tear us apart, we never will. Simply because we cannot forget. Got me tossing
Talk
my
about
hands.
the icing on the freaking cake. Man, you burn me face so.
Where your eyebrows at? Where your eyebrows at?
Gone.
Binged.
OMG. And for those of you that don't know what that comment was about the eyebrows, it's in this video. I just messed up, but yeah, we talked about that earlier. Reading something that just make your eyebrows just boom, gone.
Boom.
And that's what just happened. Oh my God. The emotion, the raw emotion, the energy, everything that was in that poem is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then to hear it read from your lips, the author, just made it even more powerful. Can you please tell us about this last phase that you wrote about in your book, The Art of Love?
Yes. It's actually part of something we had discussed a little bit earlier about pieces. And a lot of people had pieces of me. And so when I had the makeup phase, I wrote the makeup phase, which is 7 poems, somewhat like 30-something pages almost, 7 poems. I wrote all of that in one day. I wrote all of that in one sitting. And because I was able to reflect on those pieces that this person had, that person had, this person had, that person had, and I was able to channel the fact that even though there are all these people with these pieces, I still had these connections with all of these people, and I still had these feelings for all of these people because I didn't take my pieces back yet. I didn't take my pieces back yet. So because of these pieces, I was able to connect into that place in my soul that was still longing for the connection, and I was able to channel all of that into the makeup phase. And the makeup phase, I would tell you that's some of the strongest stuff in the entire Art of Love. That's some of the strongest emotionally charged material that I wrote, because throughout the Art of Love, I've compiled some things that I've written before and some years ago, and I have some new things in there that I wrote, and in the upcoming project as it came in February of last year. But this entire chapter I sat down and wrote because I just spewed onto the page, you know. And even now, after writing it and after publishing and everything, I realized that even though it was about the person, or the people, I should say, in the makeup phase, I realized that it wasn't so much about them, because I had given them those pieces of me,
Mm-hmm.
bones of my soul, broken bones of my soul. They're mine. They're mine. That's my piece. That's my broken bone of my soul that I gave out to someone else. And it's not so much that I wanted these people back. I wanted my pieces back. But because they had the pieces, I wanted them too. And so in writing this, even though it's about these people, I learned, no, I need those broken fragments of my soul back. I need to be whole. And I think then wanting this person, wanting that person, wanting this person, oh, everything would just be good if we could just work it out. Why can't you just love me? No.
Why don't you love me, Jenny?
Your love. No. No, no, no. But I wanted those pieces back. And it took a level of maturity to understand that no, it's not just about you. You have that piece of me that I need. And I'm thinking that I need this and I need this and I need this. Yeah, you do need it, but you're getting confused. You think it's about people. It's about the piece that you gave that person. You have to reclaim yourself and make yourself whole. And the only way that I was able to get those pieces of my soul back was to separate myself from those feelings. And I have to realize, and I had to realize at the time, I don't belong to anyone but myself. Nobody owns my soul. Except for Jesus. Nobody owns my soul. I'm sorry. Nobody owns my soul. And I had to realize that when you do this to yourself and you break this off and you give it away, you're destroying yourself. You're destroying yourself. And that's not what love is about. Love is not about, okay, here, take my arm and hold my arm forever, and I'm going to break off a piece of my leg. You hold my leg forever. It's not about breaking yourself for someone. And that's why I came into the whole thing that love is not a sport. It's not about, okay, let's go. Let's see who's going to, it's about an art. Art is a union of different things. When you are an artist and you're a painter, there is a union of things. You can't just say, okay, let me hold up this here. Look, it's art. It's art. It's blank. It's a white sheet of paper. But the union comes into it when the paint comes on the page. And even before the paint comes into the page, the brush has to go into the paint. And even before the brush goes into paint, the brush has to be put together and created. And even before the paint gets to the store, the paint has to be mixed and colored. So everything is a union. And I was able to transfer that into love. It's not about breaking off pieces of my soul. It's about souls coming together in union. That's what love is about. And through that breakup phase, makeup, Lord Jesus, I laid on the floor and cried for 7 hours. For hours I laid on, I'm not even lying, I laid on the floor and cried. Because you have to get that stuff out to realize what it really is. What it really is. It's like, no, I need my soul. It's not my responsibility to break my soul into pieces and give it to people. My soul is mine. It's for me. God didn't give me my soul for you. God gave me my soul for you, for me. You gave yourself, God gave you your soul for you, and God gave me my soul for me. I can't be breaking off my soul and giving it to you. It's just not going to work. That's not the way love works. And so that's how I was able to channel all of that into
Awesome. I have a couple of more questions for you before we end this segment. What does it feel like to be a newborn author?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because it's something I would have said I wanted to do my whole life. And somewhere along the line, I got myself disconnected. Um, I got myself disheartened around some things. And if I can, I'll share something with you. When I was 17 years old, I was out after work with a best friend of mine, and we were out hanging out in the city, and it was getting pretty late, and for some reason he just wanted to go home. My best friend, he's like, "Oh, Bruce, let's go, let's go. I don't have a good feeling about tonight. I didn't listen to him. I was like, "Job, we hang out all the time. Like, what's the big deal? This is nothing new. What do you mean you don't have a good feeling?" So I didn't listen to him. To make a long story short, uh, we were attacked by some people, and it was pretty ferocious. And I had a lot of things with me that day. Uh, camera, clothes. I went shopping, uniform for work, and what I always did when I was younger, from maybe I would say 12, is wherever I go, I have a book of poetry with me. And as from 12 to 17, that's how old I was at the time. I had a bunch of poetry, of course. And so, because I carry it with me everywhere I go, it was in my bag. And when they attacked us, they took my bag from me. And when they took my bag from me, they took all of my poetry for that I had written 5 years back from being 17.
Jesus.
And after I lost that poetry for 5 years back, I was devastated. I could barely write. I didn't want to write. I was too afraid. I was like, oh God, what if I lose it? And I couldn't write anymore after I lost those poems. And I would say 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I stopped writing. And 22, something happened. I met you. I think I met you when I was 22, and we were having conversations. And yeah, you didn't know I was going to talk about you. And I didn't reveal, everything of my situation at the time, but I was really broken up about what happened to me when I was 17, and I didn't realize that I had not healed from it. And through conversations with you and sharing, your work and your visions and your goals and your poetry, and then hearing that, we were close in age and we were close in some of our personal experiences was an inspiration to me to say, wow, I'm going to start writing again too. Now I'm not as off the chain as I was when I was 17, because when I was 17, I'll
Oh,
sit down and write 5 poems in 45 minutes. I don't,
trust me. I know. I know.
yeah. So I'll write a few things, but I would sit and write poetry all day long. I had over 300, 400, and I like to write epic poems when I was younger. So I would have one poem that's just pages and pages and pages and pages.
Exactly.
And so, after talking to you and hearing you and seeing your experience, I was also pushed forward to say, wow, let me really think about doing this. And so when I think about being an author, a new author, baby author, I go back to that experience, and I remember how it felt when I wasn't rewriting, and I remember how it felt when 5 years of poetry was gone, poof, gone. And I just reflect back and I say, wow, thank God, thank you, God. I can't express the level of gratefulness that I have. And grateful is probably just not even the word. I don't even think there's a word that can define how I feel. Grateful, joyous, inspired, humbled, prostrated, just ugh. I mean, It's an amazing feeling. I'm very, very, very grateful. Uh,
Awesome.
hmm
As an author and speaker and entrepreneur, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with your writing career?
Ah, yes, that is a wonderful question. Um, I'm glad. I'm glad to have developed to where I am now. Um, 5 years from now, I see much, much, much more. Um, okay, you said as an author, so I see much more of my writings. I have, well, I'm not going to give it away, but I have several other things that I'm working on in terms of some published work. I want to do an inspirational book. I see that coming. I see a book of affirmations and prayers that, as you know, I'm working on that. Um, I'm very big on fantasy. Very, very big on fantasy. For those of you who are watching who may know me, you know I love Greek mythology and um, uh, Egyptian mythology and all the powers and magic. I just love just colorful and bright and uh, interesting storylines. So I'm gonna tap into that. I'm gonna work on that. I see myself really sitting in the room with some very important people. I see myself in another plane. That would be a good way to say it. In another plane. I definitely see myself meeting some of my idols in the world. I definitely see myself in the room with them. And that's as an author, as a speaker. Uh, I'm going through some very, very intense ministerial training as well. And I am very grateful to that. I'm looking forward to going even higher in God along the journey. I tend to be different. I intend to be different. I don't intend to be like everyone else. And I realize that in some cases, in many cases, I may have to stand on my own. In some cases, many cases, some people won't understand me. I'm going deep. See, I shouldn't have took my glasses off. Now I feel like preaching. But I intend to be a different kind of voice. I intend to be a different kind of representative of many, many areas in life. And I see you in the future. I see you 5 years from now. All right, I'm gonna behave. So I I see a complete and total transformation. I don't really want to name, specific things, but I see things on a higher level. I see things on a higher frequency. And so I see the energy of it, not necessarily the details. I see the energy of it. Whatever it is, it's on a higher frequency. I can see that through my spiritual sense. And I see a lot of things. I need to be quiet, start talking, because I'm about to go somewhere.
All right, all right, all right. um, what? My next question is what happened for you becoming an author? I may not have gotten that all out correctly, but the question I'm trying to pose or ask is what changed for you? How
What
has
changed?
your life changed in becoming an author?
How has my life changed in becoming an author? Okay. It has changed tremendously. My life has changed in the sense that instead of me, excuse me, only listening to what other people have to say about me and what other people have to say about my work, I'm able to confidently look at my own work. I'm able to be confident, like, oh, well, yeah, that was pretty good. I like the way I said that there. And in the same breath, I don't have to be full of myself and, full of ego. I can look at something and I think it was great when I wrote it, and I'm like, Nah, we're gonna do that over. So I'm able to take an unapologetic and yet healthy critical look at myself. Because before I was just critical without any, oh God, that was terrible. I don't like the way this was. Overly, overly, overly self-critical because of the condition of my self-esteem at the time. Now I'm confident in myself. I'm strengthened in my own esteem. I like that. I'm strengthened in my own esteem, and I'm able to look myself for the good. I'm able to look myself for the bad. So I'm able to identify things that I need to work on without beating myself up on it. And I'm able to identify things that I excel at without putting myself way up there. So it has been a very balancing, a very humbling, and yet confidence boosting experience. That's how it changed my life.
Awesome, awesome, completely awesome. What are some of the ventures that uh, we can look forward to as far as your poetry is concerned? Because I'm asking this or saying this because while listening to some of your pieces,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you get the immediate sense of this should be somebody in a cafe
Yeah.
um, with a mic and the lights dimmed and candles all over the room and folks listening to you recite your poems and poetry, etc. Hint, hint. Hooray! Let me stop.
I'm going to fall out right now, Lord.
Yeah, but listening to your work and your heart and all
Mm-hmm.
that you put into this project, The Art of Love,
Mm-hmm.
you gather the sense immediately that this individual is like a Langston Hughes of our generation. So,
That's an honor.
what can we expect from The Art of Love and your career? And I'm making emphasis on that because most people um, don't even get this far to
Yeah.
accomplishing publishing a book. There are millions, if not billions, of poets out there, people who write, and their book never hits the press.
Mm-hmm.
That immediately makes you different. And two, um, the world never gets to hear all of that wonderfulness that is collected in napkins and notebooks and pieces of
Brown paper
paper
bags.
and brown paper bags,
Yes.
etc. And
Writing it.
the world never gets to hear that. And when
Mm-hmm.
you hear your work and your expression, there are some undertones of further success that comes across that I hear through your poetry. So, what can we expect from your career as a poet? Ooh, sorry.
Well, well, I am working on something right now, uh, in a different arena. I am, working with Gotta Sing New York City for my vocal career. So I'm a stage manager and co-host there, and I'll be heading there soon tonight to do a little gig. But I'm in a little cabaret bar. As you
Ah,
said, I need you to stop prophesying. That's
I
not what we're
can't
here
help
for.
myself.
Stop that. Stop that. Because I stopped, and now you want to start. Okay. So I'm actually in a little cabaret cafe bar with the candlelight and the little dim lit lighting, and I'm up there and I'm singing. And so I believe that that's that opportunity that I'm experiencing because I'm about to have my first night of hosting alone tonight. So funny that
Wow.
you say that. So I don't know how God is going to work that out, but I see something coming through that venue, and I do intend on going to a lot of the places in New York City that are famous, famous for great, great spoken word. And then again, I haven't gone to these places before because of the loss of my poetry when I was 17 and that block that I had set up. And so now that I am blossoming, so to speak, I expect myself, I charge myself to do more. So I'm definitely going to be going to some cafes. I definitely have some great ideas. I definitely want to collaborate. I love collaboration. Oh, yes, before I forget, I had a book signing at my house in October, and I collaborated with someone who is also a young entrepreneur. So I'm grateful for that. So I'm looking to do more things of that nature because I believe that's what you wanted me to say. I am planning on doing more readings. I'm planning on doing a different venues than other than my house, honey, because people can't keep coming to my house.
Where
They
can
can't keep
people
coming to my
find?
house.
Where can people
So
find you?
you people can find. Oh, Lord have mercy. You can find me well almost everywhere. I am still actually learning how to use Twitter. I'm not ashamed to say I did not know how to use Twitter for about a good year, and I had it for over a year. So you can find me on Twitter,
Hmm.
Bruce Barry Jr. You can find me on Facebook. My whole name, Bruce N. Barry Jr. Uh, if you see me on the street, I hope you do. Ask me for a business card because I have business cards. And you can find me on YouTube, where I am also going to be posting some of my poetry reading. Up there now, you'll find on my YouTube some singing from some live performances that I've done. You'll find some things from church that I've done. And you'll find my newest addition to my skills, my little comedy videos that I've been making, uh, which are hilarious. I have absolutely no sense. If you think I'm acting silly now in this interview, if you watch one of those videos, you're going to be like, there's something wrong with him. But you can find me there. You can find me there. Let me get a little closer up on this. It's probably backwards on your screen, but this is what my card looks like. And I'll be posting it
Nice.
to all of those uh, websites. You can find me on Twitter, once again, Bruce Barry Jr., Facebook, Bruce N as in Nancy, Barry Jr., Jr., and you can find me on YouTube, Bruce Barry Jr. So you'll be looking for me, I hope. You'll be hearing more of me anyway, because I'm going to come find you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going to stalk you. Don't worry. I might. Okay. I'm
All right,
glad
you guys.
to all the... No, viewers, don't be afraid. I'm not crazy. I promise you.
Maybe just a little, just a little.
I knew he was going to say that. You see? Well, yeah, I am. Just well, maybe not that little. Maybe just a little. Maybe this much. A little bit more.
Okay.
A
Well,
little bit
I
more.
just want to thank you for this opportunity to talk with you, to interview, to share with the world your vision, your mission, your purpose, your artistry.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give a quick shout out to those that are in Canada, South Africa, as
Yes.
well as the UK. I
Yeah.
just want to say hello to all those that are watching because throughout my particular network, which is where this interview will be posted and shared, is the
Mm-hmm.
TBM network, which stands for the Blend Media.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just want to thank each and every one of you for your support, and it's very, very, very interesting. And these are my last few comments as we end. It's very interesting to me that you can do something as simple as this interview
Mm-hmm.
and go international or global
Right.
and reach so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
Because to my understanding, there are individuals that follow our network in various different countries and so many that I would not have even expect uh, these people to be into what we're doing over here. So that's why I took a moment to shout out those particular places, because I get my strongest responses from those places. The UK,
Mm-hmm.
Canada, and South Africa. We have a large network and a large following of individuals over there. So I just want to make it known. Y'all are watching and listening to me, but I'm also watching and seeing the fruits of your support, and I greatly appreciate that.
Yes.
Um, as well as those that are authors with Maximize Publishing, such as your Honorable Bruce Barry is a Maximize Publishing author.
Mm-hmm.
And we likewise have gained a large response from individuals in Canada, South Africa, Japan,
Oh yeah.
India, Canada. We have readers literally all over the world. And I just wanted to take this little moment as we end this video and interview to say thank you. Your support has been tremendous. And I pray that you look up Bruce Barry and support his project, request his project in your local bookstores. And most of all, last but not least, and I don't know how this almost escaped me to make mention of, is if you read The Art of Love, by virtue of learning about it through this interview or just hearing about it online, and you have read it already or you plan to read it or make your purchase today, and I mean today,
Hallelujah.
then I need you to get on Amazon. I have another individual calling me while I'm on
I
the
hear
line.
it.
This is rude. This is rude. But I need each and every one of you, wherever you purchase your book, whether Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Powell Books, the list goes on and on. Wherever you make your purchase, please go back to that site and write your review.
Yes.
We really need your reviews.
Please
And
do.
if you are social, such as we are, I also need you to get on YouTube and create a video response and share it with us. You can contact Bruce Barry directly, and you can contact Maximize Publishing via the Maximize Publishing page on Facebook. So
Yes.
I thank you guys for taking this moment to watch, to listen, but most of all to support. Back to you, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say something because you shouted your people out. So and I did give out my YouTube page. I do have viewers all over the world as well. It's funny because I'm learning Russian, one of the 7 languages that I've been learning for a while, a couple of years now, and 63.4% of the viewers on my YouTube page are in Russia. So I just want to say to the Russian followers, in case you're seeing this video when it's shared on my on my status and timelines too, спасибо, дорогой, молодец. So also I want to give a shout out to Greece, who is also on my channel, to the UK, to Canada, and to Brazil. And if I left anyone out, I apologize that those came to my mind. Of course, to everyone here in the US, thank you so much, too.
Awesome. It's been a great interview. Thank you for watching. Listen, don't forget to share, and comment.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you.